Alright, so to feed these guys, it's pretty simple. They're all bottle fed right now. Pretty soon they'll be switching up to kind of a solid formula mixture, but they're just not quite there yet. I was hoping they'd be ready there by the time that we went on this trip, but they're just being bottle fed. So the way I do it is I usually feed these guys one at a time, and I separate them, because if you try to feed them, if you let them all out at the same time and just try to feed one, they will be climbing all over you, because when they're hungry, they are hungry. So this little guy, this is Rolly. He's usually the first out of the door. He's usually the craziest one for when he's hungry. And the way I feed him is I usually get this towel, have the bottle, and I kind of block my hand with the towel, because otherwise these little guys will claw the hell out of you. And all you gotta do is just kind of angle it up a little bit, and they'll do the rest. Sometimes, since they've got the screwed up nipple, it just pours out onto them, and you'll kind of have to wipe them down. If they get really matted down, you'll probably have to give them a bath, which is super easy to do. You know, lately these guys usually can almost take out one bottle by themselves. It just depends. And they're growing, so their appetite's all over the place. But you'll have to feed them pretty frequently. Usually I feed them first thing in the morning, and I'm usually up around 5 or something like that, but you don't have to get up that early to do it. I'm just up that early for work. But you all done? Yeah, they'll let you know when they're done. They won't be so crazy. So you can see in this one, he didn't eat a whole lot, but that's okay. But yeah, usually you can tell when they're hungry because they'll start crying. They'll let you know, and you can hear them through the door. But yeah, usually you'll need to feed them, you know, first thing in the morning. Probably like a second breakfast, one around lunchtime, one around dinner time, and then double check of them right before bed. But yeah, and how I usually feed them too, because there's 2 of them of each kind. So there's 2 tabbies like this, and I usually feed one tabby and then feed the next one, because otherwise I might mix them up and try to feed them both. And then there's 2 other little tuxedo cats, and I feed them one at a time. So that's all there really is to feeding them. They're pretty easy, they're pretty mellow, and you can tell they get really mellow after they eat. He's almost comatose, huh? So yeah, that's it for feeding them, and then I'll show you a little bit extra on kind of the special needs ones, because we've got a couple of them that have some eye issues, and we have to apply eye drops to them, so I'll show you that next.